Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Now I am trying to share. Is it visible? Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
चलो ठीक है. It is changing also.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Now let us start because today we have got a bit more late. See, this is a major component of our course. I am making it full screen. So the major component, major part of our course is the time value of money, because whatever resources, whatever cash, either inflow or outflow from the organization or the individual is taking place, we will have to see its value in terms of time. We have already considered that 1 rupee of today is better than 1 rupee of tomorrow. That means if you are getting early money, you are having options with you for the purpose of generating additional amount on this money. That's why if you are getting some amount in future, if you are going to check its value today, you will always find that it is less as compared to the future period value. So this understanding is widely used in finance. The reason is that we are investing money at one time and we are getting its return over a period of time. The question here is that it is not the absolute amount of investment and the absolute amount of return which we are going to get over a period of time, but it is the value whatever that money carries, which we are going to get in future. We will have to calculate, and we will have to compare what is the position. My investment is more than the value whatever I am receiving. If my investment is more than the value I am receiving, naturally I am not going for that investment. If my investment is less and the value whatever I am receiving, that is more, naturally that will be suitable for us. So in case of long-term investment, we are generally calculating the value of money over a period of time. Understanding of this value of money we are carrying from a very young age. In 5th or 6th standard, generally we are taught how to calculate the interest on a particular amount. And we start from the simple interest calculation. And after that, we are going for the compound interest calculation. As we have been taught in the school days, it is very simple for us to understand the relationship of time in terms of the amount whatever you have placed for the purpose of earning interest on that. But when it comes to the value whatever, the money whatever you are receiving in future, and what is its value today, when it comes to, then it looks that, okay, there is something which is going in the reverse way. That is true, it is always, that is going in the reverse way, that is a fact. But how we are going to calculate that, and what are the applications of this particular calculation, that is very much important. About this presentation which I have prepared for this class, I would like to tell you in the beginning itself that the notations whatever are there, I could not write the formula in the correct way as it should be written. That is the weakness of this presentation, which you will find at the later stage, but I will try to explain how it should be written so that you can write it down. I have tried to search it from the net also. I could get those formula, but when I started to copy it, that was horrible. So I could not get it done. Somehow I have tried to write this formula as I find it and as they can be narrated. So you will have to bear with me and I will tell you how and where from you will be getting this formula. So in the beginning I should accept my limitation or weakness in case of presenting the formula whatever we are going to use. But I know that you are already using that, you will be using in future, and I will try in the next class at this formula when I will be giving you the consolidated one. At that time it will be helping us. But just for the purpose of understanding as the background, I am going to start this with the first thing is you have to keep this in mind. It is the time value of money. So the time is one, value is the another one. So value will depend how and what value you are going to attach to that particular money. For example, if you are going to deposit 1,000 rupees in a bank for 1 year, and the bank is going to give you 10% interest, so this 10% is your value. 1 year is your time, and the amount whatever you are going to place in your bank, that is the present value of the money whatever is going in the bank. So the future value, present value, and the rate at which you are going to calculate it in terms of the time, how much you are going to keep in between. So that factor we are going to consider. It will be having relationship in terms of the time, whatever is present, whatever will be future, and at what rate we are going to calculate it. So these factors we have to keep in mind. As a background, it is possible that you are going to deposit, just in case of your fixed deposit, you are going to deposit one amount at one time. And the financial institution is going to tell you that, okay, if you are going to deposit for 5 years, our rate of interest, that will be 5% or 6%. If you are going to deposit for 15 years, we are going to give you 6.5%. If you are going to deposit for more than 20 years, we may be giving you 7% interest. So it is the time and the rate of interest. Naturally, it is going to create different value of this money in future. So you have to consider that whenever we are going to calculate the value of money, it should be in terms of time, it should be related with the value, whatever it is, and then we will be able to calculate it. Now see here, in case of this, we are having, broadly speaking, we are having two components. One component is compounding, where your money is going to grow over future period of time. You have deposited some amount and the money is going to grow. Okay. Other condition is that you are going to deposit one amount, but the interest, whatever you are getting, it is not a simple interest, but it is compound interest. When it is compound interest, the basic concept or basic idea of compound interest is that for 1 year, when you have calculated the amount of interest and you have added to the principal, for the next year, this will become the amount for the purpose of calculation of value for the second year. If suppose you have deposited 1,000 rupees at 10% rate of interest, so at the end of 1 year, the total amount will become 1,000 plus 10% of 1,000, that is 100 rupees. So it will become 1,100 rupees at the end of first year. All right. If it is a simple interest, there is no problem. In the second year, at the end of second year, you will be adding 100 rupees more because the interest is same. It will be going just like a straight line if you are going to plot on a graph. So at the end of second year, the total value will be 1,000 plus 100 rupees interest of the first year and 100 rupees interest of the second year. So it will become 1,200. In the third year, that will become 1,300. In the fourth, 1,400. Fifth year, 1,500. So it will be the simple one rate, whatever you have calculated in the first year on the original amount deposited, the same amount of interest will be added every year at the end of the year. This is a simple interest calculation, and this is also compounding. It is not discounting. So I am taking compounding, the future value is going to increase. You have deposited, but if suppose you are going for compound interest, then in that case the same condition will not remain. What will happen in that case? The amount you have deposited 1,000, 10% rate of interest, so that 100 rupees you are going to get. At the end of the year, the value will become 1,100. In the second year, 10% of 1,100. So it will not be 1,200, it will be more than that. So 1,100, 10% of 1,100, that will be added. So 1,100, so it will not be the interest 100 rupees in this case, it will be 110 rupees. So 100 rupees of first year, 110 rupees of second year. So that will be added to 110 rupees.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, slides are not changing.
No, I have not changed.
Okay, sir.
I have not changed. So that will be the compounding part. That is the compounding. I will be coming to that. So this is the background which I am giving you. And and see here in both the cases, simple interest, compound interest. What has happened? Only one amount you have deposited, one time deposit is there. But say for example, you are going to deposit one amount in first year, some amount in the second year, some amount in the third year. Then in that case, the amount for calculation of interest that will also be increasing. So in that case, the calculation will be different. If suppose you are going to deposit same amount every year, if you are going to deposit same amount every year and same rate of interest you are going to get on that, this will be the concept of annuity. And the use of annuity in case of finance, that is very much important. We will have to consider that because there are many situations in which we are going to deposit same amount. The finance company gives you same rate of interest. You will be able to calculate the value of that. So the annuity concept is not only one-time deposit or one-time receipt. It is the amount which you are going to deposit every year same. So you have to consider this term same. It is not that, okay, in 1 year you have deposited 1,000, second year you have deposited 2,000, third year you have deposited 3,000, and fourth year you are going to deposit 1,000. Then the concept of annuity, that is not going to work. Annuity will be always, the amount is not going to change, it is going to be the same. So that is these are the three major components which we have to consider. One is the simple interest, very simple, we know that. Another one is the compound interest and this calculation, we have to understand that. And then after, we'll also have to see if annuity is there, then what will be the position of our deposit and this annuity, the use of this annuity in financial decisions where we are going to do them. So that part, this is the background related with compounding. Discounting, when it will come, I will be discussing that. Now see here. Case of compounding, the first one, future value of one amount at simple interest. This is one. Future value of one amount at a rate of interest compounded annually. Now see here, I have mentioned very clearly, it is compounded annually. If it is going to be compounded weekly, monthly, fortnightly, quarterly, half yearly, then in that case, naturally, the adjustment in formula that will have to be made. So the future value of one amount at a rate of interest compounded annually, we will be generally considering that. And the third one is the future value of annuity. Same amount compounded at a particular rate of interest for a specified period of time. So these are the things which we have to consider, which we have to discuss at this stage. So here, the first one I would like to discuss with you. Then after I will be coming to the next part. Discounting, okay, let us give the background. Present value, now see here. Compounding is, see the first one, it is the future value. Second one, it is the future value. It is the third one, future value. Future value of which amount? Future value of the present amount, whatever we are having. So we are going to calculate the future value of the present amount. Contrast to that, in case of discounting, what we are doing? We are going to calculate the present value of the future amount. So that will be the part of discounting. Discounting will be the calculation of the present value of which amount? Of the future amount. Naturally, the future amounts, present value, that will be reduced, that will be less. So that will be discounted. So present value of one amount discounted at a particular rate of discount, we have to calculate that. Present value of different amounts received at different period, discounted at a particular rate. We are getting different amount over a period of time. In first year, we have got 5,000 rupees. In second year, we have got 3,000. In the third year, got 1,000. Fourth year, 1,000. And fifth year also, we have got 1,000. So we have to calculate the value. That okay, what will be the value of that particular amount over a period of time. So the different amount discounted at a particular rate. Okay. Present value of annuity. If you are getting same amount every year, say for example, you have purchased the insurance policy, okay, and you have deposited amount every year. At the time of maturity, the company is giving you the total amount, whatever they have declared or they have decided, or they have said that, okay, we will be calculating on the basis of the net asset value at the marketplace or whatever rate. So you have deposited. Other condition is that you have deposited for 20 years, 30 years, and after that the finance company, this insurance company says that after your deposit for this particular period, we will be giving you for next 20 years, this is a fixed amount, one amount, same amount, for next 20 years we are going to give. So first 20 years you have paid to them, there is some value related to that. And from this 20th year, they are going to pay you on the very first day of the 21st year. They are going to pay you. Now you will be checking that, okay, 20 years before I have paid this amount, how much I am getting now? And you have to compare that to the value whatever you have given 20 years before and the value whatever you are receiving now. So you will be calculating, you will be checking how far this is feasible to take this insurance or not. So that compounding and discounting in terms of time value of money, that is very important, and they are widely used in the financial decision. So we will have to take up this particular aspect very carefully. Now see here. So the first one, I am considering the compounding part, that is the future value. Now see the first factor I have written, 1 plus R. This is the very important factor which you will always find whether you are using for compounding or you are using for discounting purpose. This 1 plus R to the power n, I don't know how to write this to the power n here. That's why I have, I could not write it, I have written it in the narrative only. 1 plus R to the power n is the main factor. If it is 1 year, then naturally it will be 1 plus R, no, nothing to be written. Is the main factor to be used in different forms in both compounding and discounting. It takes different positions in different situations. Only thing is that sometimes you will find 1 plus R to the power n divided by something. Sometimes you will find 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power n minus something or 1 minus something. The formula will be going like that. We will have to consider it. But 1 plus R to the power n, that is very important. R is the rate of compounding or discounting. R we are using for the rate. Sometimes you will find K also. When the cost of capital we are calculating and we are going to discount, sometimes you will find K. I have told you in the beginning that in finance, the notations, they are being used differently by different writers, and there may be, but the confusion is not there because once they are going to write the legend of death, you will be able to understand it. So R here is the rate, and N, whenever we are using N as a power, so N becomes the period. 1 plus R is the rate, N is the period, for which period you are calculating, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or something like that. Say for example, which I have already told you, amount deposited 1,000, rate of interest 10% per annum, calculated as simple interest. So future value of amount 1 plus R for 1 year, 1,000, 1 plus R, that is 10%, so 10 divided by 100. So that will become 1.1. So 1,000 multiplied by 1.1. So this will become 1,100. So interest is 100 rupees. Interest calculation is here. You can calculate like this: 1,000 multiplied by 10%. Okay, so it is 100 rupees. This is the future value, the total value inclusive of this amount. If simple interest you have to calculate, okay, interest that can be calculated like this, 10% of the deposited amount. So in 1,100, this is the future value, which is inclusive of the amount whatever you have deposited. So that's why it is 1.1. So 1,100 rupees is your interest. You can calculate by adding, you can calculate directly with the help of this formula. Here 1 plus r to the power n will be 1 here in this case, and you will be getting the total future value. Is it clear now? Okay, I am coming to the second one. Future value of single amount compounded annually based on compound interest. That was the simple interest here. So you have calculated 100 rupees as simple interest. What will happen in this case? Every year 100 rupees will be added to your amount. So in the second year it will become 1,100 plus 100 rupees for the second year, 1,200, 100 rupees for the third year. So it will be going like that, very simple. So one time you will have to calculate the interest, and that will be added to beginning value plus interest. That will be the balance or the ending value of your amount deposited. So that can be calculated in that manner. Future value of a single amount compounded annually based on compound interest. So future value, now see the problem which I don't know how to write this to the power n. So I have simply written 1a, this is the amount, 1 plus r to the power n. Where future value, f b is your future value, a is the amount deposited, r is the, this should be a small r, that is my mistake. It is the rate of interest, n is the number of years. So the very simple formula which we are going to use for the future value, that is 1 plus r to the power n, that will be multiplied with the amount whatever we are going to deposit. So this calculation, as we have already done and many times we are doing, so that is, but we will have to see the implication, because at this stage these calculations you are able to do that, but the implication, they are very important, and I will be coming to that. Now see here, same example, amount deposited 1,000 rupees, rate of interest 10%, deposited for n years. So in the first case, future value for 1 year, okay, it will be same, 1 plus 10 to the power n. So for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, etc. You can calculate. N may be 1 year, it may be 2 years, it may be 5 years. If it is n is 1 year, then its value is going to be 1,001, because we have already calculated whether this is just like a simple interest. So the first year will be same, whether it is the compound interest or the simple interest. The value will remain the same. Okay. If you are going to calculate for 2 years, so future value after 2 years, okay, so 1,001 plus 1.1, that is 1 plus 1 to 10 by 100 to the power 2. So that will be coming 1,210 rupees. So you are getting this 10 rupees additional. Where from this 10 rupees has come? In the simple interest, it was 1,200 only. This 10 rupees has come from your 100 rupees, which you have got as interest on 1,000 in the first year, and 10% of that is also being added. So it is not only 1,200, that has become 1,210. Similar is the case here, future value after 3 years. So 1.1 to the power 3. So that will become 1,331. It will not be 210 because this will be added. So 100 rupees. So here you will find every time, every year, the amount is going to increase. So it was 1,210, now it is 1,331. It is not 20, it has increased. After 5 years, 1,610. After 10 years, 2,594. So the basic formula that is going to be same. You see the amount which you have deposited 1,000, 1 plus, and it is for 10% rate. So in this case, for at the end of 2 years, you are getting 1,210. At the end of 3 years, it is 1,331. At the end of 5th year, it is 1,610. Future value after 10 years, that will become 2,594. All right. Future value after 20 years. So this will be 1,000 multiplied by 1.1 to the power 20. Okay. After 20 years, 6,728. What will be the future value after 50 years and 100 years? Try to calculate. Those who are having calculator with them, they should try. I am giving you some time. Future value after 50 years. 1,000 multiplied by 1.1 to the power 50. Okay, I am coming to that. Future value after 50 years, 1,17,390. You can see here. It was a very modest beginning. 1,010%, it was only 1,210 after 2 years. After 3 years also, it looks very simple, 1,331. Even after 5 years, it is very simple, 1,610. Even after 10 years and 20 years, it doesn't look that, okay, this has grown so much. But 1,000 rupees with the help of your Chakravarti Vyaj, that has gone to the 6,720. That is the compound interest which is there. Just 1 minute, please. Hello? हाँ बताओ 1 मिनट. हाँ वो ठीक है बताओ करिए. हम तो डिपार्टमेंट में क्या करिए. नहीं तो बताओ क्या बात क्या पूछ रहा है. I'm sorry, there was an important call, so I had to take it up. I'm sorry for interruption. Okay. So see here, the future value after 20 years, it looked to be very modest, 6,728. After 50 years, it has gone to 1,17,390. Now you can see the position. And the future value of 1,000 rupees deposited at 10% rate, that has gone up to 1,37,80,000 rupees. It's 80,612 rupees. You can see, you can understand how it has grown over the period. 1,37,80,612. How much you have deposited? And it was only one-time deposit. You have deposited only 1,000 rupees at 10% rate of interest, and it has been deposited up to for 100 years, and the value has gone up to 1 crore 37 lakh 80,612. Now we would have hardly thought such a huge amount of deposit of only 1,000, and the rate of interest is also not that very high, but it has increased so much. So the compound rate of interest or the compounding of the amount, that is going to increase so high that due to this, sometimes which we say that even a very small amount you are going to deposit, it is going to increase in a quite good amount, and the rate may be very small, but the result that is you are going to get, that will be so much. And that's why, see here, there is one quotation which is widely used, and this is a quotation by Albert Einstein. I don't know what the 7 wonders of the world are. I don't know what the 7 wonders of the world are, but I know the 8. What is this? That is the compound interest. So this is the compounding part. Now you can understand that if suppose this compounding is going on and you are going to charge money from there, then in that case, naturally, if suppose you are taking loan from somebody and he is going to take interest on that, he is going to charge interest on that, and it is going to extend over a period of time, the amount of interest whatever you are going to pay, they will be much more as compared to whatever we are expecting. So this is the compounding part which we have considered. And see here, it is only one-time deposit. So please keep this in mind. It is only one-time deposit which you have made, and it has gone up to that period. Now see here, there is another way to understand, and this is also the application part of it. See, if suppose the finance company gives you a particular rate of interest, and that is being compounded every year. The rate of interest is there, and that is being compounded every year. Then in that case, how are you going to calculate? Generally, we go to the bank, okay, and you are asking that in how many years my amount that will become just double. You are going to the bank and you say that I am going to deposit 10,000 rupees. In how many years my amount will become double? What the bank employee says and what he is doing, within seconds he is going to give you the answer. Now see, if you deposit 10,000 and the bank gives you 8% interest on your deposit, compounded annually, in how many years will the amount be doubled? The bank employee will give you answer in just seconds. How? He knows one rule, and the rule is called rule of 72. It is called the rule of 72. And where he is using this rule, he is using for the purpose of doubling period. In how many years the amount that is going to be doubled. So the rule of 72, the doubling period he is going to do. So he knows one rule, that is the rule of 72. Okay. What he is doing? Now see here. 72 divided by the rate of interest. You are getting, how much you are getting? He says that, okay, it is the 8% rate of interest you will be getting. So what he is doing? 72 he is going to divide by rate, that is 8 in this case. So 72 divided by 8, so approximately he will tell you that it will take 9 years in getting your amount doubled. So that is the doubling period. 72 divided by 8, that is your doubling period. The other rule gives you better result. So here, the doubling period, this is also related with doubling period, but now see here, it is 72, which they have reduced to 69. Only 3 digits they have reduced. So 72, in place of 72, this is a rule of 69. So what they are doing? In this case, there is an adjustment. So there is an adjustment of 0.35 plus the 69 divided by interest rate. It will be more closer to the number of years. Say for example, if you are having 10% interest rate and the doubling period is to be calculated, then what you will be doing? The 0.35 plus 69 by 10. So it will become 7.25. It is at 10% rate. It is not at 8%. It is not at 8%. It is at 10%. So here at 10% rate, you will be getting your amount double in 7.25 years. So 7 years, 3 months, that will be the period in which you will be getting. This is more closer as compared to the rule of 72. But a rough estimate that is being given to you, and you will say that okay, approximately it will take 9 years, it will take 8 years, or it will take 7 years. So in that case, this is the another rule which is called the rule of 69. But generally we are using this of 72 and we are going to divide it by the amount. So it is coming at 10% interest rate, 0.35 plus 69 by 10, so 6.9, 7.25 years. If interest rate is 15%, how many years? In this case, 0.35 plus 69 divided by 15. So this will be, the period will be reduced. Your double will be within 4.95. So almost 5 years you may say that in case of this, the 5 years period, you are going to get your amount double. So this is the doubling period and its calculation. And this is also based on the compound interest rate calculation. So this is the application of compound interest on one-time deposit. You are not depositing every time. This is the one-time deposit which you have made. So the simple interest we have considered, compound interest we have considered the rule of 72 for doubling period. We have also considered rule of 69 for doubling period. And in both the cases, it is one-time deposit. The rate of interest is going to remain same. Compounding is annually. And these are the different types of calculations which we are making on the basis of that. Now, coming to the compounding of annuity. When the cash flow occurs at the end of the period. Yes, please.
It's 9:42.
Time is 42. Okay, mine is 40. Okay, compounding of annuity, we will discuss. If you are having any problem in understanding, so you should stop me at that time. I am sorry I have interrupted in between because there was very important call. Sorry for that. All right. Okay, we will discuss it in the next class.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.